2 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Did I include enough zeros? Rudy Gobert just got the biggest paycheck of his lifetime. I had to record this video right. Well, first and foremost, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Young, and I'm back. I got another analyst video. Y'all know what y'all supposed to do: like, share, subscribe, all that. You know what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert just signed a $205 million contract with the Jazz. Like, what? Like, what? First and foremost, I just wanna make this clear before we start anything. Before I start talking about this, if you're new to the channel, you're new to my analyst videos, I just keep it 100. I let a game play in the background and I just go. You feel me? Right off the bat, I'm not hating on Rudy Gobert. Do I think he's overrated for what he does on the court? Yes. Do I think that his DPOY, his second one, was based off a narrative and not his on and off numbers, or, you know, the eye test of what he does on the floor? Yes. But do I have any disdain or hate for the man? No, I don't. I just think he's overrated. And I'm going to explain to you why. First and foremost, Rudy Gobert is a one-time All-Star. You know what I'm saying? We can give him that. I think he won block champion. I think that was 2016, 17 that year. 16, 17. He's made the All-NBA team 3 times. Okay. Which is cool. But, I mean, what? Last year he averaged 15 and 13. I think with like 2 blocks a game or something like that. Wasn't it like 2 blocks a game? Yeah, it was 2 blocks a game. He's been averaging at least like 2 blocks a game for the good part of his 6 years in the league. Because his first year, he was just there. I'm just be honest with you. He's only played about, I think, 3 full seasons. After that, he normally plays around about 55 to 60 games. But I mean, the whole premise of this video is he worth $205 million? Short answer, hell no. Long answer, hell no. And the reason why I'm saying he's not worth that is not because of him as a person. It's because of what he does on the floor. And I'm going to just break this down really quick. First and foremost, the guy that he's playing against right now bakes him every time. And that's just eye test. I'm not even getting into like his defensive abilities, because I'm going to get into that afterwards. But you're paying a guy $205 million to be a rim runner when there are people that do that in the league. You're paying him to protect the rim where there are people that do that in the league. And you're paying him to sit in the dunker's spot on offense. And there are people that do that in the league. But because he's 27, you're saying that he's gonna be lockdown defender at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Is that what you're saying? He's 7'2" with like a 7'9", 7'10" wingspan, which is great. But I'm going to just talk about his positives, right? Rudy Gobert is a great shot blocker. He's a great shot blocker. He's a great rebounder. And that's it. Like, and I'm not even being funny. I'm not being funny. I'm not being like, I'm not just talking crap about the man. That's literally the only two things that he do well. He protects the rim and he rebounds very well. Other than that, what does he do? He has no post game whatsoever. He might give you a drop step every now and then, and depending on who is guarding him, he's gonna post hook. All right. He has no mid-range game. He cannot shoot a mid-range to save his life. As far as free throws go, he's a 60-ish, I think I want to say like 62-ish% free throw shooter, which is decent for a big man. But it's like you only attempt like what, 6 a game. So you're not even like banging with nobody for real. You probably getting dump off passes because Donovan Mitchell is the focal point of the offense. So if you run a screen and roll, people know that the dump off is coming. So as far as his game is concerned, his game is very, very limited. And that's me being generous. He's a rim runner. So that means you call a pick and roll. He rolls to the rim. You throw the lob. Boom, he got it. Or you dump off pass, boom, he got it. Or you run a 4-out 1-in offense. You have him sit in the dunker spot, which is like right in that corner of the paint for any of my people who don't really know basketball like that. You sit him in a dunker spot, and then you force the big to help on the guard. And if the big helps on the guard, you dump it right to him and he dunks. That's it. So his offensive game is very limited. Now, when it comes to his defensive game, again, very limited. And this is me being honest. And if y'all are Jazz fans or whatever, and y'all think that I'm capping, please, I want y'all to comment a video, show me, please. Because this is me watching this man play for the last 6 years. I didn't watch him his second year. I didn't watch him his first year. I started watching him after his second year when he had that crazy block game. I think it's like 8 or 7 blocks or something like that. Then after that, I started watching him. But during that time period, that was when Hassan Whiteside was going crazy as well. But when it comes to his defensive game, what does he do? He sits in the paint and waits for blocks. That's it. That's it. And you're like, I know you're listening like, what? That's impossible. He's a DPOY. Now, granted, he is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. But you have to predicate, why is he a Defensive Player of the Year? Simply because he averages 2 blocks a game. 1, he instantly makes a team better on defense simply because he can protect the rim. So his metric numbers are going to look good. But then other than that, he's not really a great defender. You put him in pick and pop situations. He cannot check whoever the pop man is. That's the simple reason why the Denver Nuggets consistently beats on the Jazz in the playoffs for the last 2 years. The first time they met in the playoffs, Jokic played him off the floor. He literally had to go sit down in multiple spurts. And you're talking about he's your second best player. Your second best player is sitting down because he can't check a pick and pop. And don't get me started on when he gets switched on the guards. He got Bambi legs. Y'all ever seen the movie Bambi? When Bambi was skating on the ice? That's him when he switches on to guards. He has no switch ability. He can guard a 5. But if a 4 can dribble and handle and is a little bit quicker than him, he can't guard them. He can't guard guards. He's horrible in pick and roll, horrible in pick and pop. So why is he being paid $200 million? And I will gladly tell you, it's because the Utah Jazz is a small market team. And that's just it. That's just it. If Rudy was on a bigger market team, I can still see him getting in that 100, 150, but $200 million is entirely too much. And as somebody that watches basketball, when it comes to the Jazz, the Jazz have limited options as far as players is concerned because they are a small market team. Now, you've re-signed Don, who deserves that money. He might be eligible for the Supermax in about 2 to 3 years because I can see him getting some first teams, some first team All NBAs. I could see that in his future. I could see him getting a couple more All Stars. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be available for that Supermax in the next couple of years. But you ask yourself, you know, as Jazz fans, I'm not a Jazz fan, but you ask yourself as Jazz fans, how do you build a team when your second best player is making $200 million to sit in one spot the entire time, catch rebounds, and dunk? I'm not paying anybody $200 million at all. I'm not doing it. And what's sad about it is when you look at their team, Mike Conley is digressing. So Mike Conley probably got, I want to say, 2 years. 2 years, I want to say, of just efficient play. You know what I'm saying? He got at least like 2 years of efficient play. And then he's going to be off the contract. So now you got to go out there and find a point guard. All right. You got Derek Favors, who you just signed back, who is a certified bum. I'm sorry. He's trash. You got Joe Ingles, who's not really that good. Joe Ingles is digressing, a.k.a. the PG stopper. But other than that, Joe Ingles doesn't really give you anything. Your bright hope in Bogdan, who averaged 20, got hurt. So we don't even know if he's going to be coming back, you know, with the same tenacity and stuff. Royce O'Neal is their best perimeter defender, but Royce O'Neal can't buy a shot to save his life. And the guy that just shot the ball, Jordan Clarkson, is their entire bench. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have options, but they don't necessarily have options because you could do it like this. You could run the same team back, you know what I'm saying, until contracts expire. You get you about $30 to $35 million in cap room after Ingles, Conley, Bogdan, and Derek Favors' contract come off the books. But then where does that place Donovan Mitchell? Where does that place Donovan Mitchell? Is he going to be one of the top guards in the league? Yes, I definitely would say so. But is he going to be happy where he is? I don't know. And that was a prime example right there. Y'all saw how instead of him picking up Murray, he flashed and then went back to his man. He literally does that in real life. But going back to what I was initially saying with the Jazz, in order for the Jazz to get better, one, Rudy has to do more than what he's doing to receive $200 million. When I look at the blocks leaders, as far as blocks is concerned, Rudy Gobert this year averaged 2 blocks a game. Hassan Whiteside averaged 2.9 blocks a game. Damn near 3 blocks a game. So he averaged an extra block a game playing less minutes. So there's another guy that can do what he does for significantly cheaper. And as far as rebounds go, Jesus Christ, don't even get me started about the rebound aspect, because we all know that Andre Drummond is one of the best rebounders in the game. He averaged 15 rebounds on the Cavs. Like, you can pay him significantly less, but Andre Drummond don't play defense. So it's like you can pay guys to do what Rudy does, but do they do both things very well? And I hope that made sense. Both guys do what Rudy does, but do they do it very well? The only person close to Rudy that I would say that can do what he does at a lesser rate is Hassan Whiteside. And that's not me just saying that. Like, Hassan Whiteside has always been in the tops of rebounds. He's led the league in blocks twice. He's made a all defensive second team. He's led the league in rebounds and led the league in blocks, and he's been in an all defensive team. Like, what? He averaged 13 and 11 with almost 3 blocks a game. Now, granted, he's the same way when it comes to defensive purposes. He can't guard pick and roll for real. He can't guard pick and pops. Struggles switching on the guards. But as a GM, would I want to make myself flexible? Yes. Would I have done a sign and trade with Rudy, get some assets? Yes. But what does he give you in the future? He's 27 years old. Your star player is what, 23? I think Donovan is 23. Donovan's 24 years old. My thing is this, right? Donovan Mitchell is the future of this franchise. That's not a question. But the way that the NBA is moving forward, Rudy Gobert is an extinct big simply because he's one-dimensional. And I've already listed the things that he does well. But when it comes to Rudy, there's more negatives than positives. And I get it. Like, not a lot of bigs can do what Bam does. Not a lot of bigs can do what AD does. You know, do what Giannis does. But that's primarily the reason why bigs that aren't those people that I just named aren't getting $200 million. If you ask me off rip what bigs I would think that would be getting $200 million, whether they deserve it or not, Rudy Gobert does not come into my headspace. I would give Cat $200 million, Joel Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, AD, Bam, depending on how he, progresses, because he had a great year, but he has to be more consistent now. DeAndre Ayton, I would give him $200 million. He's proved himself. I can't really say anything about other bigs like Marvin Bagley. I can't really say anything about Marvin Bagley because Marvin Bagley can't stay healthy. Wendell, he hasn't panned out, so I can't speak on Wendell. Brook Lopez, hell no, he's too old. Like, I'm just going down the list of bigs in my head. Nurkic, depending on how he develops, but I wouldn't give him $200 million. I give him close to $150, depending. He got to be better on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? Get some all defensive teams or something. But I don't see any other teams where I'm just shelling out $200 million. And I think that's the bad part when it comes to, like, small market teams, is you can only do so much when it comes to small market teams. It's either you do well in the draft, which the Jazz kind of did. They're only big names not big names. The only people that they've been able to find talent with as far as the draft is concerned is Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Other than that, they have not drafted any talent. They have not developed any talent outside of those two players. And going forward in the future, it's like, who do you find that can help Donovan? Because if you look down the line as far as the team needs is concerned, they have a lot of needs. They need a playmaker that can also score, because Don can't just be dropping 30 and then they lose because they don't have enough points per game production. They need more shooting to space the floor if you're going to have Rudy on the floor. You need another playmaker or a defender to come off the bench. And you need more defense. They don't have a perimeter defender outside of Don and Royce O'Neal, but Royce O'Neal is a black hole. He can't create his own shot. He can't shoot. Or at least that's what he showed last year. Joe Ingles was supposed to be their other playmaker, but Joe Ingles is digressing. And I'm not building a franchise with Joe Ingles as my starting small forward. You're not going to win games that way. I'm sorry. You're going to win regular season games that way. But you're not going to win playoff games like that. At all. Bogdan is going to get you some buckets. But is he in the future of this team? I don't know. And don't get me started on this damn bench. They better pull any type of stops they can and keep Jordan Clarkson. He is their bench. And then outside of that, it's like, I don't know what to really tell you. So I hope they figure something out over there in Utah. Hey, shout out to Rudy. But going forward from this point forward, every time Rudy get played off the court or get baked, I'm yelling out at the top of my lungs, $200 million? Because I don't see $200 million in it. Let me know what else y'all wanted me to talk about, you know what I'm saying, in the comment section below. I'm at a loss for words right now. 200 mil for a rim runner? Clint Capella? Hassan Whiteside? Andre Drummond? Like what? DeAndre Jordan? The fuck? Jared Allen? They getting 200 mil? Like, look, I'm gonna leave it alone. If y'all like this video, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, turn on them post notifications so you know when the next video drop. Go check out the rest of the playlist, man. I'm gonna be giving my takes on certain things that's gonna be happening during the season. The NBA season starts next week. I'm pretty excited, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace and love. Ladies.